Okay, dude, I think I'm gonna do it. I don't really have the $200 to spare, but I really want to buy this suit. Like,
Just do a fundraiser on stream or something. Like, and then promise to take pictures. People will
it
love that
comes with a
shit.
hat. It comes with a
People will
fucking
love that
hat and
shit.
shoes. Oh my god, I'll wear that to the wedding, man.
Okay, the question is, do you wear it to the cast or CSL? Is that
Yes,
your fancy
obviously.
suit? Oh, amazing.
Would you dance with me, Zombie Grove, if I wore that suit?
Hell yeah, we could learn how to swing dance.
We play that song I learned about recently, the caravan thing or whatever. Okay,
Yeah.
guys, girls, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. Game number 1 for the grand finals currently underway. Snoot currently tethering his internet to his phone, so we're gonna wish him the best of luck as he's having some ISP issues. 4G hype. In the bottom left side of Runes of Endion, we have none other than the Red Zerg, the Snoot Kryptonite himself, Elazer.
The face has some acne right now.
It actually looks like two super derpy eyes in the middle that are different colors.
Err.
That's crossing its eyes.
In the bottom right is the blue surrogate is Snoots.
I'm actually debating not getting my wisdom teeth out just in order to
Oh
get
my
that
god.
suit. Like,
Oh my god.
I've never
Could
been
you
one for
please-
clothing, okay? But I
look,
really want to
if you
get this
fundraise
suit.
the wisdom teeth thing, that would have been suspicious because of what's his face. But
Protect.
fundraise the zoot dude.
Zoot suit. Zoot suit. Yeah,
Let's
maybe,
do it.
maybe that's something I'll think about. I don't know. It just it feels weird. Like when we fundraise things, we always do it for a cause, right? Like, oh, we want to fly to this location, but we're short on money, or we want to raise this fund
This is
for
a
an
true
awesome
cause.
tournament. This is like
This is a true
Rifkin's gonna look
cause.
goofy in a suit like for a week. Like, okay, well, I'll take it under consideration. As we do get into ZvZ finals, you may have heard us reference Elazer. I mean, there's a lot of things going on Snoot. First off, the 4G, having to play this game off your internet. Maybe it's better for him, maybe it's not, but it is questionable because, again, this isn't like your normal setup, as his ISP's having some hiccups. Alternatively, too, Elazer just has a really good track record versus Snoot. When you watch his games, there's not a lot that can really be said. There's not like, okay, Elazer always goes for the slightly earlier Roach Warren, so he's always ahead by 3 Roaches, and that's why he beats Snoot. Or Mutas, or any reason like that. That's never the case. It just seems to be that Snoot has this calm, deadly, scary attitude when it comes to fighting players like Hydra and Tefl, and for whatever reason, loses it coming up against Elazer, and just, it gets
Yeah.
awkward. I don't know how to describe that differently.
I'm not sure either. I think he did like a decent enough job. It makes him look like overall a worse player than a laser, but we know that he's not. It's just something in what a laser does, like his build, or just maybe he's like staring at him from across the room, like they're actually like apartment buddies. Just always unnerves him. I don't know.
Well, they're definitely not apartment buddies. Snoot being from Norway and Elazer.
You know, whatever. Just gonna get others out.
That's
If you
super.
can see Russia from Alaska.
It's that deadly mana stare. He taught it to Snoot, and Snoot can see him all the way from where he is.
Anyway. Snoot is the one going for a really quick lair here. Now, I think this is a good idea considering that you can break down your own rocks. Not that Snoot did. Elazer broke down his own rocks, however. So either way, he knows he's not going to be attacked, and he should be able to get to a spire, no problem.
Yeah, I mean, the fact that the Overlord sits right over top of this makes this fairly obvious as to what's going on. He's also turned on his own rocks. Was he just going to go for like a greedy S4th? Like, that's crazy. But Elazer goes for the spire, or sorry, excuse me, it's Snoot who's going for the spire. He'll be able to fly over those rocks, sure, with relative ease. But Elazer, it's funny to consider, actually might not have the easiest time going for the attack. We always discuss this, where the best way to stop any sort of spire play is to get across the map and hit them early, whether it's with lings or roaches, and typically they either have to spend so much money on defense they can't afford mutas, or they just straight up die. In this instance with the rock dynamic, Snoot's got his opponent's own rocks working for him, then he'll be able to knock down his own rocks, furthering the delay, and he should actually be good to go to keep this from getting out of hand. But he's not knocking down his own rocks right now, and I find that very alarming, because Elazer's setting up for a pretty big attack, lots of lings being made, and I don't know that Snoot's going to be ready for this.
It's very questionable. I thought Snoot had the best, like, if you looked at this map and then you looked at the rocks being broken down, I think the obvious answer would be to go mutas initially. So the fact that a laser didn't go for mutas initially was always a surprise. And then he broke down his own rocks despite getting so many lings. Very odd. But I guess because it is such a comforting feeling that maybe they were a little less in tune with looking at the overlords as their dependents, which is usually ZvZ, and more depending on the rocks. So at the end of the day, Elazer still does break his own rocks down, and
No,
Snoot did not. So he's able to get in here, and even though Snoot got to Mutas, he's got to chase so many lings.
He's dead. Like, I hate to say it, I don't think Snoot could possibly make enough banelings to contest this. Look how many that the Lasers got coming in. His lings are gonna win the initial fight.
He still doesn't have speed either. He was so greedy about his gas.
I just this is what I'm saying for Snoot. Like, why not knock down the rocks? It just seems like such an obvious move for such a smart guy. The Mutas do come out and they do clean up some of the lings in the main. 16 workers have died. He was up a considerable amount of workers due to the way he opened with this, but banelings just clear out everything. Oh my god. That was like watching a laxative take place.
Thank you. He also demolished the third base. Looks like it was cleaned up, but still killed like 15, 14 drones over there. Some of them transferred over to the naturals again, I suppose. But that is a pretty down army supply. And the real problem is that the Ling attacks will never really be over because they are so good at getting everywhere. Well, it's not Mutas that will really clean them up. It's Snoot's own Lings, which you can't afford now.
If he could just knock down those rocks still. GG. That just shocks me. Like, this just shocks me. But there you go, guys. There's the Snoot Elazer dynamic in game number 1.
No.
And well, it is what it is. I was just thinking though, you know what? I think I may have found the justification for the suit money. Okay. I probably still have to fundraise a couple of bucks, but we're each gonna get probably, I'd say, $50 or something ish from the sub money, the extra sub money that we got from last month. Probably between each because it'd probably be about between 100 and 200 extra.
Okay.
Because we still have to spend the amount that we're spending on tournaments currently from that. Then we'll have like 100 to 200 extra. We split that in half. Boom, that's like half of the Zoot suit.
Amazing.
I'm really trying to find justification to buy this. Like, I really want to buy this suit. I'm pale as fuck. I'm going to look so bad in it. I don't even care. But, looks like Elazer really doesn't like the next map. Snoot saying, I want to go to Orena. So we're going to go to a small commercial break, guys, and we'll see you in 2 minutes with the next match. All right, folks, we're back. And it is game number 2 in this best of 5. Bit of a cancel there to start the series. So we'll see where that leads. Spawning the bottom left side. Yep, it is going to be the Red Zerg player, Elazer.
In the top left, as the blue Zerg, it is Liquid Snoot.
So a bit of a funny back and forth between the two players getting into this game. Snoot basically saying, you should quit wasting your time being an anti-Snoot specialist and try to become an anti-Nurtio specialist instead. Elazer then retorting with like, no, nobody can beat Nurtio. Bit of laughter. But kind of curious. I mean, like, Snoot is fully aware of, I think, his weakness with Elazer. Elazer did remark, though, that he didn't want to play Snoot on this map, so I'm guessing Snoot gives him some trouble on this map when they play normally.
Yeah, I guess so. I'm not sure how. I haven't paid that much attention to the specific map of these two playing each other. But we know, as we saw last game, in fact, that Snoot's, or last series, sorry, is that Snoot does go for the gasless version of defending on Arena because you can, you can get those queens out and it's not that far away from your main base. The ramp isn't exactly small, obviously, but still gets the creep spread over there really quickly, and you get the queens over there pretty quick too. And you just have so much excess if you go for a gasless that you can get a good amount of queens if, for instance, this happens, if you need them versus slow lings. Now this is just slow lings though. Elazer himself not going for any gas, just wants to tear down that hatchery, which even with Snoot going for a one base pool, I think might still happen. Yeah. Drones are being pulled. Okay, I think that it's probably the better choice. Hopefully the micro is there. Only 2 lings to help out. That's a surround for the drones. None of them going down so far. The first one, there we go. Okay, first then 2, and then very quickly into 3.
He still has drone lead coming out of this though, and the idea of getting this hatchery is it does get you ahead in the game. You hear pros talk about, your casters talk about all the time. Having this extra hatchery, just having the larva production from it alone is already worth quite a bit. So gets ahead of Elazer, stays ahead of Elazer, and Elazer throws away his early investment without getting a return on it.
No, not that. It's not so bad though, because he went for the gasless version himself. Still gasless for both players here, and the hatchery is only slightly behind that. Especially considering that the drones had to be actually moved over there, and only down two drones as well as he makes one into a gas geyser. Now, Snoots will be able to continue getting more and more drones and, queens without going for his gas still, but it should just be a roach versus roach game. So Lasers mix it up.
I mean, Roach versus Roach is kind of predictable. We saw this with Tefl on this map as well. I think one of the things you worry most about, though, is whether you've got some sort of big all-in coming early or later. Because for Snoot, when he was so prepared for it versus Tefl, he had the concave on the other side of the choke. He had those Ravagers that didn't land that many hits, but they did get a couple. I mean, there's ways to be very, very prepared for this, even if you don't see it coming, because it is so predictable.
Mm-hmm.
But, we'll see how Snoot does. I mean, again, he's, in my opinion, a little bit better off from this opening, but not by much. It's like the difference of pool first versus hatchery first.
Kind of looks that way. Not much of a drone difference, and Queen's all injecting, so that's the important thing. Gets a nice scout, and we'll get a drone kill as well, so
nice.
Definitely a good 2 lings.
I feel like whenever we see this happen, right, like lings are destined to die, but they're going to take a drone out with them. It's like when you walk by your cat and they just take a swing at you for no reason. Like, well, fuck you too.
My cats haven't... I don't think I remember them doing that recently. Pyro used to all the time because Pyro's a little bastard. That's
No,
why.
I avoid the stairs because I've got stairs in my house that don't have like the back part, so that it's just kind of just like the step, right?
I hate those stairs. Oh god, yeah. Okay.
I know. I'm always so afraid like I'll trip and fall through them or something. But anyways, my cat will sit on the other end of it, and if I walk by or too close, she'll
cute.
take a swipe at me, and I'm like, what the fuck? Are you
I would do
doing?
that too if I could just sit back there. That sounds like fun. I used to have a cat would sit by the door. Whenever you walked past the door, you would do that to get your attention.
I miss when Millie was younger. She would actually climb like through the bottom side, so she'd literally be upside down on the stairs and just like climb around that thing. Like that was her scratching / play post.
That's fun. I hate stairs like that.
Pee on
though.
things.
Stairs like that and stairs that are just they're not carpeted. I feel like I'm gonna die every time.
Yo, I think we've all seen that one image on the internet of the spiral staircase, but it's like the slide built into it as well. I would love for something like that. Quick, easy way down the stairs.
Whee!
Sorry, excuse me. Quick, easy, safe way down the stairs.
But how do you get up the stairs?
You walk up the steps. Have you not seen this picture?
Oh.
It's like a spiral staircase, but the outside of it has a slide attached.
Oh, okay. I can imagine it. My grandparents' attic had stairs on one side and then a slide on the other, so it always. I don't know why they built it like that. I think because it used to be like a storage, and they figured you'd push boxes down whenever you went to go get it, but we just slid down it. It's probably super, super dangerous. Oh well. We have a little bit of a game on our hands as Snoot has taken a rather surprising, well, not too surprising considering his opener was better, but a rather large lead in army, up by 20, only down by 4 in drones.
This makes it a little bit questionable, though, because it looks like he's gearing up to push through the choke and kind of attempt to do what Tefl did to him. This time around, though, he's got the count. Last time when Tefl did this, he came into Snoot having better numbers, a concave already set, and a spine crawler to boot. This time around, Elazer's going to land some corrosive biles. It will catch, not much of the army, actually, which lets Snoot really pounce on this.
Yeah, this might just be game over for
like the
Elazer.
micro,
His
too.
defender's advantage, but this is not a very long map, so you can get over here really quickly.
I love that he segmented some roaches off to specifically chase on that Ravager, but now he's taking away a lot of roaches from his army. Either way, GG's going to get called, and it will tie it up 1-1 here in the finals.
Well,
okay, well that's so that's tying this up, which is great. It is a best of 5, however, so quite a few more matches ahead of us. Again, we're like a good hour ahead of schedule, but that's okay. We are, however, squeezing in ad breaks in order for me to afford the Zoot suit, clearly. So, yeah, I don't know what to say other than we'll go to more ads in a moment. Just again, if you guys actually, before we do, I want to give Corsair some love because they did something kind of funny. I was talking to Zombie about during the last break. They've been pretty good at replying to people who like tweet at them saying like thanks for supporting BaseTradeTV and all that. But this one in particular was great. Basically, someone says thanks for supporting BaseTradeTV. I got blank because of this, and they just reply with like Joey giving the thumbs up and a sly wink. It's pretty slick. I like it. But we're gonna go to a small break. So guys, do stick around. We'll be back with game number 3, when we return. God damn it. Thank you for the $10. I will make sure that finds good use. But, okay, we're getting into Dusk Towers for, of course, the 3rd game here in this best of 5 finals. Mentioning before, it's tied up 1 apiece, and we'll see how this plays out. Again, a little bit favoritism goes to this guy just due to their track record. In the bottom left side, it is the Red Zerg player, Elazer.
In the top right, as the blue Zerg, it is Liquid Snoot.
All right, now what's kind of cool about Snoot is even though I do reluctantly, and I want to stress reluctantly, hold him at a bit of a disadvantage when it comes to playing against Elazer, it is good to know that he's still talented enough to do things like take this to the Ultra versus Ultra late game, to do Roach versus Roach and Ravagers and whatnot. Elazer's best bet, just recalling some of the matches we've cast of them, really is like when he gets aggressive early on, it never seems to really kill Snoot, but he always finds small leads with it. That game, obviously, a bit more passive on Arena, kind of gives Snoot the freedom to do what he liked and just play to his own strengths.
Yeah. Well, the early pool option for Elazer was a little surprising, I suppose. It's Arena, you expect early pools, you know, hopefully the defending player does go for their own pool first, but maybe hoping Snoot would just be the tiniest bit greedier, because it really, the difference between like a hatch first and a pool first, you know, excluding like extra drones in between each one or a gas geyser before each one, can sometimes like not be that big of a deal. It certainly is a big deal if it's the difference between two players doing it, but for an early pool like that, that might have been the difference of him losing the hatchery versus saving it. So I guess Elazer really doesn't like playing on that map, and as he said before, but it's Dusk Towers, his choice. He goes for super greedy, 3 hatch for a pool. In fact, maybe in that gas for a pool.
I mean, Snoot has done in the past early pools, but just thinking on it, he hasn't really been the guy to 14-14 in a while. So for Elazer, this is actually a great way to capitalize on that, as weird as that is to consider.
Yeah, Snoot is not a cheesy player, but he can throw in cheese on the best of 5, and if this went to game number 4, and we might see it for sure, especially depending on what the map is. Thank you, Republic Bund, for the 4-month resub.
Shout out to him as well, because he got involved with the Match Reno Cup yesterday, which was kind of cool to see.
Well, that's a early Baneling Nest only because Elazer is still being pretty greedy, you know? Like, if they had both gone for similar builds, and this is anticipated, you know, okay, sure, Baneling Nest comes down, that's expected. But Elazer, you know, he held off on gas a little bit, so he's not getting that speed super quickly. He's getting 3 queens right off the bat, and still no Baneling Nest. Now, Snoot still doesn't know what Elazer's build is. He's just now getting his scouts. We'll see the 3rd up be like, oh, I hope that's the natural, then go to the natural and see that it's also up, and well, know that he was... he's got the worst of the 2 builds, but not like such a devastating amounts. And his response is apparently going for 2 base layer.
So I don't know why this prompted a reminder for me, but you know how I mentioned to you about the whole VR thing lately?
Yes.
I was rewatching that video we took at the BlizzCon finals, and that was so super sick to watch, because it wasn't in 3D or anything, but it's the fact that I had taken that whole video from like over the shoulder point of view. It actually felt like I was sitting there again. It was kind of cool. Stupid goggles. I wonder if I could cast StarCraft with them on. If there'd be a way to set that up.
I don't even know, man.
That would actually be so sick if you could use, because they've got eye tracking software out there, right? I guess somehow combine the two so you could like use the VR equipment to like as mouse to look around the map.
I'm not even sure what it looks like, to be honest.
Oh my god, maybe I could take it back to Best Buy, return it, say it didn't work, get the refund for the $100, and spend
dear
that
God.
on the Zoot suit.
Maybe if I just don't eat this week, I'll lose weight and be able to get the suit.
They'll fit into it even better. You're a genius.
Oh my god. A genius.
So if they did prepare all those meals, it'd be kind of a waste. I mean, I already bought the food.
Okay, well, yeah, eat that food next week.
Oh, okay. Well, there you go. Problem solved.
Yeah. We do have Snoot going for that Spire, and Elazer scouting what it was, you know, pretty late 3rd, even, you know, especially compared to his 3rd. He might be kind of keen on that. Problem is, there's not much you can do unless you're already kind of, you know, set up to do a Roach attack, which he got the Roach Worm, but he also droned a lot and, you know, is going for a lair anyway, and now that on the Evo Chamber. So I think you just have to kind of just, you know, okay, I have to deal with mutas, and that sucks, but certainly mutas aren't the end-all be-all. They can be beaten. It's just extremely annoying.
I think this is the first actual confirmed scout on the Spire too, right? So
Yeah, I
Elazer
believe so.
now aware. He may end up investing in a few more roaches. He's already starting to get 3 more queens at a time because he wants to get anti-air. The +1 weapons is going to benefit the queens as well as the roaches, so the queens can certainly fight.
Incoming transmission.
Snoots makes 6 mutas, and at the same time, with the gas usually banked up to make as many mutas as possible, goes for an infestation pit.
Yeah, thank you to Bella Baloo, by the way. Donates $32 and says, get him this suits. I'm going to look so sharp.
I'm very excited. I should ask my parents about these swing dancing lessons.
This is like, do we try and last minute fundraise this in the best of 5 today? $10 coming from
this.
Mods Can't Stop Me 69 says, get that suit, Graham. That's 20, 30, $52 towards the suit so far. And we just got a new sub too. Nimmerland, oh god, I can't say this name.
Nimmerland Young.
Nimmerland Youngie? Thank you for subscribing. Of course, new subs can look forward to the replay packs from today being sent out. And if you do sub just today, we've sent out some other replay packs recently. Don't be shy. Send us messages on Twitch. I can send those out to you pretty easily. Things like the Maturino Cups and recent things. We did have a sub to us recently, by the way, and request things like Hell It's About Time and the big one. I'm like, dude, I don't even know if we still have replays from those. Like, what the fuck?
They wouldn't even work, would they?
They wouldn't. So I mean, I think he wanted them for. He mentioned it was like for collection sake or something. But I'm like, damn, I'd have to dig deep. I don't like. I
That's
definitely know
cool.
we don't have Hell It's About Time anymore. Like those weren't even our PCs.
Like it, that's a cool thing. Like, what if Blizzard put it in so you could play any replays that you had in the future because they get around to it, basically. Like, that would be cool for someone to have archived everything.
Oh, nice snipe.
I don't think it's gonna happen anytime soon. Yes, it's a nice snipe. I talked about the invitation pit before we talked about the donations, and it was for a very quick hive. But what's so funny is that since Snoot didn't really put a lot into the mutas, he's still making mutas, mind you, but everything, there's the upgrades and the hive and whatnot, doesn't have the extreme amount that starts to get really annoying. Elazer is also allowed to get to his own tech, his Hydralisk, his roaches, his own hive, and we'll see what comes out of his hive. In fact, because I don't know if he's just going to get Vipers, deal with the mutas, or getting his own Ultralisk. Not that he's seen Snoot's Ultra, or seen Snoot's Hive, I think.
Okay.
Like, there's been very little scouting.
I'll put the Zoot suit text on the screen. We'll see if we can do it, guys. To do this before the cast would be finished today would be insane to me, but if we could actually get anything close to it, that'd be cool.
Sray Long, look... says, I heard a gasp of air, thought I missed something in-game. That is me all the time with Rifkin.
Oh my god,
He's
it's
just
so
like,
annoying. Or, like, the worst part with Zomgrub is, guys, like, behind-the-scenes stuff for a moment, is she's never reactive to what's going on in the conversation. She's always sometimes in her own world, and that's fine. We all do this from time to time. But she'll just, like, giggle. But, like, unless somebody actually asks her, she won't share. And you're like, okay, cool. Like, what the fuck? Great fungal growths,
So
by the way, out
many
of a laser.
times. It takes so long to flip and explain, and then you guys don't laugh anyway.
Riamar says his donation was ignored by the bot. I don't see it. I'll check in a moment after this game. That's gonna require a bit too much tab outing. I don't want to do that. But that fungal growth is great. I really caught some of the mutas, but Snoot doesn't have the mutas to just rely on. He is on Hive Tech. He's getting the Ultralisks out. We talked about it before. Like, he's good enough to play the macro game. He can get to Ultras, and once upon a time, Ultras were the end-all be-all. But funny enough, Lurkers are actually a fantastic way to deal with Ultras nowadays. So if Snoot can just keep this from getting scouted, and Elazer never sees that he needs Lurkers... oh man, it's gonna go a long way. Riamar's donation, by the way, just confirmed it. Sorry, it went to, he put it on my personal donation, not on the Twitch alerts for the channel, so that's why I missed it. It says for Zoot Suit Store Suite you want. $50 from Riamar. Holy shit.
Woo!
That means we're actually halfway there. Thank you, Riamar. This is gonna be VODs. People are gonna watch the VODs and have no idea what we're talking about. Like, this is what you get from missing the cast, guys. This base from Snoot is gonna go down. Unfortunately, he's done such a great job of hiding the ultras. He's still trying not to reveal them. He's got chitinous plating complete. He's even got +1 weapons, and the spine crawlers certainly do a good chunk of damage. But he didn't want to reveal these too soon. Now he comes rolling in with Banelings for the Hydras on the left side. He's got the ultras just tearing apart that front line. A flood of Lings behind this, and Elazer is taking down some of these ultras, and even a parasitic bomb hit the mutas. But Snoot is going to ultimately come out of this fight very, very ahead. Elazer now realizing almost a little too late, like, oh shit, I've got to get on this ultra train. Because it really is like the one thing that counters ultras is other ultras or lurkers, both of which would have taken Elazer a very long time. And having lost all those hydras, it wasn't guaranteed he'd be able to get any lurkers behind this.
It might just be game. The Lings are going to add extra complications. They're going to surround all the units and make sure the ultras do get the swipes on them. It's just... Snoots, you know, the mutas gave
The
him kind of
Snoot
room to
suit!
do anything he want. Shut up. And Elazer just expected, I guess, a more normal ZvZ, like, you know, mutas and maybe more roaches and hydras, or more mutas, but not these fast ultras, which
Ooh.
is not unheard of. So it is a little, you know, a little bit of Elazer's fault.
Hang on, Snoot's aren't dedicated a bit much to this though, because as good as Ultras are, they still do need some support, whether it's through the Mutas or whether it's through the Zerglings. So he falls back with the Ultras, which is a great choice. If he continued to push in there, he would have given them all away and would not have been worth it. The Mutas got Parasitic Bomb, so they were falling back as well. 5 health. There you go. Transfuse it before you translose it.
All right, so now the queens could come forward too. Not there's that many with transfuses, but the flood of lings is going to be important. I guess Snoot has not been upgrading, so he did, of course, get the Carapace upgrade for his ultras, but no Carapace upgrade for anything else. The melee stopped. He never got adrenal glands, so this is really pretty bare bones. And with Elazer having managed to actually sneak out his own ultras, kind of spending about halfway done. Snoot might have the supply lead, but Elazer could get an equally good army and just look for better engagements.
Alright, well, the Ultralisks are being made out of Elazer, and we are going to get to see a little bit of Ultra versus Ultra, but I feel like it's going to be very one-sided. Funny enough, Ultra versus Ultra is one of the few times splash damage doesn't really play that big of a factor on account of the fact that they're so big. There's not a lot to splash. Kaiser Blades are going to be a little bit better for Snoot. Armor's going to be a little bit better for Elazer, but Chitinous Plating wasn't done for the start of this fight, so he actually takes a lot of extra damage before this even begins. Woo! Even Queen's getting in on the action, pushing that front line. Elazer now being pushed back. He's got so many upgrades, but it's not going to stop these Ultralisks.
No, that really sucks about the Chitinous Plating. GG. Snoot takes a 2-1 lead.
And it's against Elazer. I mean, this is more than just like Snoot gets a little ahead, ha 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 he, but it's the fact that Snoot, like, he never has great matches versus Elazer. I shouldn't say never, that's wrong, but he typically doesn't have great matches versus Elazer. So absolutely impressed with that game, with the lead in the series. But it is just a lead. He's not won it yet. He's got to win one more game, and we'll see if he can do it. Reminder that the prize pool for this was increased, so the first place prizes were 70 instead of 60. And we'll see how this goes. Be back in a few minutes, so guys. Small commercial break while we get game number 4 up and running. All right, we are back, and we're hopping into what has been aptly nicknamed Frost out of Elazer. Frozen Temple for game number 4. Series is, of course, a little bit not in his favor, despite all these things I've said. Maybe it's the caster curse that Snoot needed. I don't know. But in the bottom right side of Frozen Temple, we've got the red Zerg player, Elazer.
The top left, as the blue Zerg, it is Snoot.
Snoot kicking ass and taking names in that last game. Got to give some more love to Riamar, though. He just donated again, crazy bastard. So, I got to do math. Wait, 102. Sorry. Clarity here. He donated $45 and says, does this one trigger the bot? Question mark. So thank you, Riamar, so much, dude. But what was 47? Okay, 147. That's math. That's how things work.
You don't tell me the numbers, so I can't help you math.
It's okay. I'm a big boy. I'm figuring out a mom.
You're just like, what's the math of 47? 100. Okay.
Carry the 5 and done. Okay, so Snoot, by the way, throwing down a pretty good build to deal with what's going to be coming, as Elazer did go for early lings, and he's going to have that gas to get that speed up and running very fast. This is kind of what we talked about, though, like where if Elazer gets cheesy versus Snoot and doesn't win the game outright but gets leads, this is where we usually see him get ahead versus Snoot. Frozen Temple's a bit of an odd map. We haven't seen enough games on this for me to say Snoot's got this on the defense, but even though his hatchery is going to be in danger for a small amount of time, he will have lings out shortly, and ideally some speed to go with it.
Yeah. It's about having those tools to defend, and then we'll see how the execution plays out, so... I have, faith in Snoots, but it is Elazer on the attack and looking for just the end of the game, basically, as he is committing fully and entirely. He has not only speed on the way now, but also a Baneling Nest.
I gotta give Riamar a little bit more love too. He donated $25 on the BaseTradeTV bot now.
He's just paying for your suit?
This is spoiling me silly. It says sup. I love suits. All right, well, I'll get that added up and mathed out in a moment. We gotta give a shout out to SD2 Modest for the sub hype as well. Meanwhile, Elazer just
Ooh,
dancing around with
sneaky.
these lings, and he is going to get a kill on the hatchery. This is actually pretty big.
Okay.
Snoot's up a lot of workers, but if he can't saturate that base, that worker lead's not as impressive.
Well, I think this is a very smart move because I believe his overlord saw the lack of an expansion. And around, like, even if it was a only speed build, I think that hatchery would have gone down by now. So he knew how committed Elazer was. Now, it's a little interesting to sending these slow lings out. It's like, that is very risky. What if a baneling was already done? What if there's just more lings than you? So he does back off and will actually cancel the hatchery again.
those
So
banelings,
I guess
though.
didn't expect this much.
There's so many banelings, and Snoot just... He's trying to buy time for the spines. He's trying to snipe that last baneling as well, if possible. Not going to happen. No more queens out just yet. New one spawns in a second, but these spines are nowhere close to finish. If they actually do finish, he might just find some luck holding. His lings are not that great, but the queen's going to go down. And this is looking pretty bad.
Yeah, he's got 12 lings on the way. He's saving both spine crawlers. Hasn't lost too many drones yet, but there comes a baneling. It's looking for that hit in the low drones. Doesn't get that one. Won't get this one.
Oh.
It brings him down to awfully low.
My God,
dear.
Snoot is literally hanging on by a thread. These drones were so close to dying and getting
Oh,
massacred. But the thing is, with 2 spines up and the drone count still mining, I absolutely understand why he's sticking in this. Like, it's actually not over
Receiving
yet.
incoming transmission.
It's about to become even if Snoot could ever get a baneling nest. But with the baneling nest, Elazer might be able to also macro out of this, which is something that he wasn't planning on doing. He was hoping the game would have ended by now, but
Oh, this is
an
kinda-
opportunity to.
Kind of interesting with the faux Sim City trying to be set up there with the evolution chamber. One of the spine crawlers does go
Oh.
down, but Snoot's no longer mining, and he's lost control of the situation, and this is
Yes.
gonna be what ties up the series.
This is 3 more drones, only keeps him down 1 to Elazer, but that army supply is becoming a real problem. The lack of larva injects, the inconsistent larva injects, a problem as well. Now the drones are starting to heal up, so they're not as scary. You know, they can also, take a punch or two and give a punch or two, but more banelings are on the way. Only 1 spine crawler to poke those down, and not
So-
feeling very good for Snoot.
With the game being almost over, it's a little bit dicey. These 4 banelings just want to walk right into those drones.
It should be enough damage regardless if they get 2 or 3, because it is about 1 or 2 drones now.
I don't know. Like, there's no more banelings. Okay, yeah, actually. It's still looking grim for Snoot. He's down in workers, which is
Yeah.
weird to consider on a 1-base situation. He doesn't have his own baneling tech, so setting up for a counterattack just really isn't in the cards for him. Bleeding out even more drones now. It just gets worse and worse.
This is the longest 1 base build I think I've seen so far.
No.
Usually, if it's if it's fully committed with
No, you're right.
lings and banelings.
I misunderstood. I was going to say that Guru Revolver game.
No.
But that's the same strategy, but that wasn't 1 base.
Excuse you.
Yeah,
No,
excuse me.
they're 1 base. Like usually the game is over by now. Banelings have either hit or they don't, and someone is macroed out of it at the very least. But they're both still on 1 base. Elazer did start to drone a little bit, as Snoot does as well. And Snoot's definitely lost this game. Lasers managed to get a bank, so he's getting a hatchery, which
natural,
Snoot
yeah.
sees and should probably know he's down.
Thank you, by the way, to Nimmerland Young. Yeah, he just subbed to the channel and donates $5.69.
Okay.
And it simply says, Snoot! Exclamation mark, exclamation mark. I'm gonna wear this thing, and it's gonna be so ugly. If I get it before Texas, if it arrives, I'll wear it for a stream, guys. I'll classy the shit out of one of these streams.
Hopefully it arrives before Texas. I mean,
Well,
in Texas.
I was actually-
No!
I was considering, depending on how long with the estimated shipping is, because I haven't actually looked at the shipping. Was asking Olivia just to have it delivered to her place.
Just for safety. Yep.
Well, so it actually arrives in time, but
Well, I mean,
anyways,
make sure she knows what it is. Just keep it in the corner.
like a microphone.
Okay. This is
I mean,
not
I
game.
applaud.
It's still not game. Like the spine color. No, okay.
I applaud Snoot's efforts. There's the Bantley hit at the end
Right.
that seals the deal, and this is gonna ace match it, ladies and gentlemen. So we're gonna go to game number 5 between these 2 players. I gotta tell you, like, I would never want to do another best of 69 in my life, but if I had to, I think a best of 69 before Snoot and Elazer would be kind of interesting to see. Because not that it goes to the ace match, and I think it'd be really close, but it is that expected dynamic versus like how it plays out in endurance and all these other things. But for now, I mean, let's not forget Snoot's playing off of his phone's internet. Now I know Europe's got good phone connections, but Jesus, like he's tethering his phone for his internet right now. I don't think lag came into a factor for that one at all. That was build order more than anything else, but it's just impressive to see him playing it out. Either way, we're gonna go to the ace match, and I guess we'll just we'll hold ads for this one. It's gonna be Invader get the lobby set up for this in just a moment because ZombiGrub is awesome at making lobbies. Marth93 says his donation appears to have missed the bots. That's weird. I don't know why Twitch alerts would be missing that.
Receiving incoming transmission.
Check Gmail real quick. Thank you, whoever that was. Sorry, I'll look in a second. I don't see anything from Marth. So, Marth, check your PayPal. Make sure something didn't actually get charged, because I don't know what's going on with that. All right, well, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Corsair Cup Grand Finals. We have reached the Zoot Snoot. Thank you, Riamar, but also everyone else for your generosity. It is super appreciated. We are getting into what is the final match, though, so everything hinges on this one game. Spawning the bottom right side of Invader, it is going to be the red Zerg player, Elazer.
In the top right, as the blue Zerg, it is Liquid Snoot.
So once more, I mean, once this map becomes a little bit more common in the map pool, we've seen it enough, we'll stop talking about it all the time, but it is worth noting that there are no cross spawns on this map. So Snoot and Elazer can spawn horizontal from each other. They can spawn vertical from each other as they have, but they cannot spawn across from one another, so they'll know where not to scout. As the game does actually put little red pings that the players can see showing where the spawns are at the start of the game.
Yeah. That was a nice little feature they added.
Yeah.
Was Legacy of the Voyage, or was it before?
We got another donation coming in from Not Dominish. It says, hi, $20.31. I'm not sure if I'm supposed to put that towards the suit, but you know what? Because I don't know what shipping's going to cost, I will just for the hell of it. But someone, sorry, you want to educate this while I do math real quick? Someone asked, when was the best of 69? Question mark.
That's a good question. When was the best of 69? Oh,
it was
nope. Was it after Home Story Cup?
Well, it was last year around June, so I think it was before Home Story Cup.
Before.
But
so
my
before
point of it was,
IEM, or WCS rather.
My point of it's been almost a year, actually, funny enough, coming up on that reunion, and that cast went 18 hours and 30 minutes with no breaks. I think we managed to... That was actually fun, because I don't remember the exact stats, but we managed to raise about like $400 for me and ZombiGrub to split, which was kind of cool. But then we raised something like $4,300 for Bunny and Snoot as the prize pool.
Yeah.
So that was a really awesome event. And I think my favorite part of it was we rode like 9K viewers consistently. Like we had 9,000 people who were insane enough to stay the full 18 hours with us. Some people left and went to work and came home and were like, "Oh, you guys are still at this, huh?" I'm like, "We're not even halfway through the day, man."
When did we start that? Did we start it in the morning for us or in the afternoon for us?
It was a morning start. I remember that much, but I don't remember too much else because my memory got so loopy.
Yeah, I mean, it was like being drunk after about the 7 or 8 hour mark.
Does someone have the Xenocider bit that they could link in chat? That quote, the "in the top left." Like, that was probably the best thing to come out of that best of 69.
Yeah, there were a lot of good moments. I couldn't tell you what they were. Same with the drunk cast.
Yeah.
I know that the highlights are there, but that only covered about a fourth of everything stupid we did.
We did do quite a few stupid things, that's for certain. Anyways, Snoot and Elazer did open up with some Lings, some speed, and a few Banes, but it really feels like this was all set up defensively for Snoot, and Elazer still droning and even taking a third, really showing that he's not committing too much. And Snoot saw this as well, so he matches it with his own third. Good read out of both, and both players playing pretty smart.
Kitty the Neko has all the stats. I remember this before. You were like, why do you have the stats already ready? It was June 1st. To June 2nd.
Right, and that's when I forgot we pushed over 800 subs during that stream too. That was like our first time hitting above 800. Oh gosh, that's so sick to think about how far we've come in a year. Jesus. Best of 69 reunion stream, anybody? Anyway, no, never, ever going to happen.
Yeah, everyone tried to copy it too after. It's a thing you do once every 2 or 3 years. Like, come on now.
They did a Chinese Best of 69 like immediately after, and it got like no attention, and I felt kind of bad.
Poser Fear Dragon did it.
Yeah, I feel with Legacy of the Void, a 69 is a funny number, but it doesn't carry that same weight with it.
His lasted about 14 or 13 hours, I want to say. Maybe even less.
All right, well, Bailey's are running around all over the place, and Snoot's finding a hard time getting by any of these, but really, it's not about the lings for him. Back at home, he made a lot of
Receiving
roaches.
incoming transmission.
See this bulked
Yep.
up.
Roaches versus Spire. Elazer's the one in trouble right now as the Spire's only just started. Now he has, his own lings, and they'll be able to buy some time, but Snoot's looking to bring the game down right here, right now.
Dang, Fear Dragon just gave a real bitchy note with his $5 donation. Fear
Real.
Dragon donates $5 and he says, "This is for your mobile games because you're spending so much money on the suit." I'll have you know, I am like
Hey, it's
28
good.
days mobile game spending free. Thank you very much. I feel actually very proud. It's like getting sober again.
Well, this attack has commenced, and the Queen's trying to buy time for what is only 4 spine crawlers. So even if those finish, it might still be
But-
enough for Snoot to push through.
I mean, right now, Elazer's having to spend a lot of minerals on his defense, so even if that Spire completes, he's only going to be able to build like 2 mutas, depending. The
Yeah.
spine crawlers go down pretty quickly. The queens were hurt so badly early on, there's no transfuses available. Other spine's not quite done, so he gets on top of these, immediately pulling the drones, but not away into the fray, and that's not looking good. Elazer might just be falling apart right here. We got a lot of lings spawning, and that is a considerable amount of lings, but he's having trouble getting that surround. His own lings from Snoot are going to defend him, and it looks like Elazer has fallen, and Snoot takes the victory! The Snoot! All right. We all knew that it would happen, guys. I mean, it rhymed, it was foretold, etc. But it's great to see Snoot win over Elazer. Like, I'm 100% serious about this. Snoot's a good player, and I don't think we would normally be congratulating him so heavy on just an average win, if you will. But it's the fact that it is Elazer, his somewhat nemesis, his kryptonite, if you will. Overcoming that was certainly fantastic here for the finals. So congratulations to Snoot. Thank you to Bunny Lois for the 2-month resub here at the end of the stream as well. Big love, big love. And thank you to everybody who helped contribute to this weird donation thing. Especially Riamar. But that's gonna wrap up the cast today. So Snoot's gonna get $70 instead of $60, so he gets 10 extra bucks, which is awesome. We'll make sure to get that money paid out ASAP. Of course, normally we pay the top 4 players in each of these cups, and I guess we'll just end it here. So that being said, Corsair Gear, guys. Without Corsair, none of this would be possible. They obviously sell more than peripherals. They sell RAM, and my cooling system and my case are both from Corsair. And in fact, actually, can you see if I put my cam? Can you see the nice, cool, little bright, glowy Corsair logo on the Yeah, there you go. Anyways, Corsair do a lot of awesome stuff, but if you guys want to buy some awesome peripherals, Zombie and I can vouch. We've been using them for so long at this point. Keyboards and mice are fine. Headsets are absolutely fantastic. Headsets are, without a doubt, the thing I would recommend buying from Corsair. Webcam, please. What are you doing? But that does wrap up the cast. So again, check out Corsair. Our links to Corsair sites are down below. The reason I ask you to use these ones is because if you scroll down on the Twitch page, they've got codes in them that tell them, well, not codes, but they got coding in them that says, hey, these guys came from BaseTradeTV, and lets Corsair know that these tournaments are advertising well for them. 2 thumbs up, and hopefully they'll keep investing in more in the future. But that does wrap up the cast. So Zombie Grub, you want to rattle off our other sponsors really quick while I go get PayPal information from these guys?
All right, you can go to g2a.com and use code BASE to get 3% off and help us out as well. We're going to get that number up. This is the start of the month. We're always looking towards that 150 goal. Your Wood watches, they've already met the goal, but if you're looking for a fancy watch in case you're going to a wedding or something, I don't know, you can go there. And, they're a little pricey, but they're definitely good quality, and they look really nice too. So go check that out if you have any presents in mind. I don't know, Mother's Day's coming up too. That big forewarning. And last but not least, Chairs for Gaming. Go to Chairs for Gaming, use code BaseTradeTV, and you can get free shipping to USA and Canada, as well as $20 off.
Kind of fun thing about today, I noticed as I go do this, it's 4/4/16. 4 times 4 is 16. Oh! It's also the one day America and Canada gets the dates the same.
As opposed to 3/3 or 2/2 or 1/1.
Shut up. I meant of this month, okay? We gotta ruin this. Of course, other things to just bring attention to is we don't have a lot, again, we don't have a lot actually scheduled for this week, so we may be offline for another few days. But the reason we're leaving our schedule clear isn't because Zombie and I have lost our passion, or we're not wanting to cast things. We do. If I could cast every day, I would. But the thing is, we don't know about some of these events that are coming up, like the DreamHack qualifiers. A lot of them have been posted. There's some Spring Championship qualifiers, you name it. There's ASL qualifiers coming up. We're getting those sorted and locked down. Truth be told, this is probably going to be our last easy week. Let's use air quotes here, because after this, it should be a lot of back-to-back qualifiers and Corsair Cups and Matcherino Cups and you name it. So keep in touch with our website, BaseTradeTV/calendar. We will update things as soon as we know the information on the website, and you'll see what we're casting and when. The two shoutouts that I'll give outside of this, though, is we will be casting the CSL on Tuesday and Thursday, but on their channel, as we've been doing for the last several months. And then on the 7th, we're hosting our Overwatch tournament, which some of you may enjoy watching, some of you may not, but I'm going to have a lot of fun for it. That's 100% for certain for me. But, wait for it? What am I supposed to wait for? What's Reem we're talking about?
I don't know, I just looked at the
Incoming
donations. Didn't see
transmission.
anything.
Oh, there we go. $35 coming out of Riamar, and it says, this should handle the shipping costs with Dominish's and Ravi's donations. Damn, another 35. This guy is, Riamar. I hope we get to come to Germany again sometime soon, so I can pay you back with at least dinner or something, man. Jesus. But okay, that's gonna wrap things up, guys. So take care, have a great day, everybody, and we'll find somebody to host. We're gonna play some ads to end the stream, and then we'll go host somebody. So thanks for watching. Take care, and we'll see you later. Bye.
Bye.